Grand evening. Um, Short and sweet. Okay, kind of. This is in regards to DRC, Dunramping Coalition. I've put a post up already about introducing it, giving some more information about what we're about, what we do, and how we might do it. One of the things that we do, we are going to start doing, is exposing those people that infringe upon the nationalities of British Moors, of the British, of sovereigns uh, here on the British Isles. So I'm going to do that this evening. I'm also going to be making an announcement I'm going to be declaring or sharing, exposing those organizations, agents, if you will, and agencies in which I can't say the word, irrevocable estoppel has been achieved. And what I mean by that is that where there's a claim being made, not just about rebutting that claim, but in honor saying, yeah, okay, we'll hear what the claim is. If you could provide the evidence that the claim is legitimate and lawful, and you could provide documentation that supports that. In those instances where there is no evidence on the part of the people or the agents making the claim, and they are still pursuing a claim, even though they've not provided with the lawful required information in order to show due diligence, then we will be making announcement again where irrevocable estoppel has been achieved, where that process has been gone through and achieved, where they've not been able to provide the evidence, and any further action that might be taken as a consequence of irrevocable estoppel has been achieved. One of the stages after then is that because in a claim that's been made and has been found to be unlawful, illegal, or without jurisdiction, and without equitability, and for any other of those reasons, actually, those reasons and then some more, then usually what would have happened in the process of making that claim and rebutting that claim is that tort would have been created. What I mean by that is malfeasance, got what the other word was, malfeasance and something else. Anyway, there's a couple of terms that are used, technical terms, legal terms, that are used when due diligence has not been followed, or when protocols, again, protocols and procedures haven't been followed, and when there have been breaches in the equitable process of making the claim and pursuing a claim. So basically what I'm talking about is that of taking out a commercial lien against those agents and agencies that have made unlawful, illegal claims. And I am talking about things like poll tax, council tax rather, parking fines, utility bills, all of those kinds of things, mortgages, loans, can be rebutted, and they'll be showing and providing evidence of when those have occurred for DRC members. DRC affiliates, maybe, I'm not sure. The people that have come and that are being supported by, or are nationals, or are sovereigns, or are British men and women. So, and I'm going to begin that process today by saying two things. One, irrevocable estoppel and has been achieved with Hawley and Rogers solicitors, specifically, what's his name now? Niall Byrne of Hawley and Rogers solicitors. There's a couple more names that will come to me in a second, actually. Niall Byrne of Hawley and Rogers solicitors, working on behalf of Samantha Taylor, who evidently claims to be a paralegal. There is, I can't remember the people's names. I will show this shortly, actually. Spare me in a second. I've got myself a little bit better organised. Oh yes, John McNulty of Nottingham Investigations, irrevocable estoppel was achieved with him and that firm. And also with the County Court Money Claims Centre, which is a court, irrevocable estoppel was achieved with them by their acquiescence. This would be back in, I think it was August last year, actually. But all these notices have been filed within the courts and with, I think it's the Loughborough Echo. I think there's a public notice that's gone out there. There's been public notices put up about these irrevocable estoppels being achieved by acquiescence. That was in October, actually, October 2021, with County Court Money Claims Centre. Similarly with, as I say, Hawley and Rogers, Niall Byrne. Also with another firm of solicitors, and his name is Jonathan Owen, of his Chambers office is in Nottingham. Brokework Chambers, Jonathan Owen, barrister. Irrevocable estoppel was achieved with him back in October 2021. Similarly with Judge Leon, which there seems to be a bit of a dispute about who this person actually is, whether or not she's male or female. I understand she is female, and was promoted to the bar, became a district judge again in October, maybe 2020, I understand. But again, irrevocable estoppel was achieved with her or him. I'm not too sure who the person is, because the person that I have on a recording is male, and I understand she is female. So there's some skullduggery going on there. So I just wanted to sort of say that. Who else? Yes, they've all been achieved. And again, notices have been placed in the Loughborough, I think it's Echo, and they've been not put on notice, but the public notices have been made in that regard. I now want to move on to another, it's more of an announcement in regards to, I think it's Marston's is the name, who, for want of a better phrase, has behaved so badly in turning up at, and again, another British Moor, and this would have been during half term this year, turned up unannounced, showing this, producing only minimal documentation. Just bear with me a second, we can see if we can show some of this documentation on screen, I believe. I'll be able to do that. Let's have a look. Is it on screen? I'm not too sure. There we go. Yeah, here's a copy. This is apparently the warrant that was issued. Okay, there's no official stamp, no signature from any judge, no judge signatures on there at all. This is the kind of information that that people are using to gain access to people's property, barge past them in their nightgowns in the morning. The police were also contacted on this particular occasion, and they said as long as they have a warrant that these people, whoever these people are, I'm just noticing that the Masters recovery at the top there, if you can see that. This is the kind of documentation that they are using. And I'm going to quickly show you the rest of it in terms of like an inventory. And there's the inventory of the items. They didn't take the car, but this is all they've written. And in terms of identification, this is what they left. Now, I don't know what's going on in this country, whereby you've got people that can just turn up on your doorstep and make demands, and turn up in vehicles. This is the gentleman. I don't know if that's Cunningham or the other geezer, what's his name, or McNamara, working on behalf of the highways, national highways. I think it's got something to do with the motorways being privatized as well. So here we have a protagonist who was very hostile, very rude, clearly has no jurisdiction, clearly has no authorization to do the things that they did on this particular morning, and to harass and make false claims, quite belligerent. And I'm here to say that will not stand, and this gentleman is being pursued. He's not a gentleman at all. He's a coward, he's a liar, deceitful, and the company that he works for, see, they can't even be bothered to, I'll show you the van in a minute. They hire their vans. These people are thugs and criminals. There's registration for this. We're putting this up as public notice so that other Moors, British citizens, can be aware of these kinds of people that are flitting around the place in hire vans, I suppose, turning up, claiming to have authorization from courts, and this is all they're providing. And I can tell you, it's not good enough. This is not enough. This is not. This bit is not a warrant at all. You might talk about a judgment, but you need to have a wet signature, ink signature, with a seal, with the judge's name on it, and there's nothing of the kind on here. I mean, they've signed it off as name of enforcement agent, team. I mean, anyway, so that's Marston's Recovery. They're a big company, international, I think, definitely national, all up and down the place, doing this kind of activity. They turned up during half term as well, which was very, very sneaky. And I suspect there were lots of women who were caught off guard and had to cough up some cash there and then on the spot, whilst they have the children with them. These people are ruthless and do not care. They will. DRC is seeking to have a response unit for this kind of activities for its members, so that in local areas. So when these people do turn up, that a call can be made, so that an appropriate challenge can be made to these people who are turning up as third-party interlopers without any evidence, without any jurisdiction, lawful jurisdiction, and making claims on the spot. I know it says Marston's Holdings, which is also a bit of an indicator, really. Holdings, okay. I don't know if I can do that. Marston Holdings Limited, PO Box. So they're not easily contactable. It's not a place where you can go and send correspondence to. Yeah. So we are looking at ways in which we can respond, can challenge. This is being challenged actually because it's going out of order. That's not legitimate documentation at all. So I just wanted to sort of say that, and you know, as a something that one of the activities that DRC is concerned with. This is one that is being that I'm demonstrating here this evening. So it's master is the first one, and I've announced where irrevocable estoppels have been achieved, and I'll be doing that a lot more, not just on my behalf, but also on other members as well. So this is a place where you can come and see. We're going to have a bit of a notice board of shame, if you will, of all those agencies that are acting as third-party interlopers, interfering in people's British Moors' private matters, or trying to make those things that are private, public, commercial, and criminal. Because I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to criminalize activities, and try to induce or try to create bonds that later become criminal, or they create a debt that they feel then that they've got every right to walk into your house. You've got a statutory right of entry to your home and access to you and your property. Your property under Black's law means, it doesn't just mean pens and paper, phones, houses and cars and things. It means your body. Yeah, it gives them right of attorney to your property. And your property includes you. Okay, so you've been warned, but we know that's the kind of thing that we're going to be raising awareness of. That's the kind of thing that we'll be seeking to address when those, encouraging people to address it for themselves initially, and we're here to support people to do that the best way that we can. People to stand in their own truth, and stand in their sovereignty, and to stand in their nationality, to stand in their Britishness, and not put up with some of this nonsense that we are going to see a lot more of. Believe me. Okay. May your ERP remain strong until the next time.